Wow, so this was a great epic chapter. Only for the part where it is more unpredictable than we first imagined, because having two Yoko class is something we would expect third act to Wano, and here we got it in this chapter. It makes you wonder what's next when it comes to Oda. And that's another thing too. I think this is one of those situations where Oda making us think they're Wano Act 2 because Luffy's escaping Udon prison, because we're seeing Zoro about to go to Ringo to fight Gukimaru. Because of that, oh, we're close to at the end of Wano Act 2, then something like this happens, and it's like makes you wonder how much longer we got. And I think Oda Way is not only throwing a curveball to those who kind of theorize what was coming next, but also changing the plot as it goes along. Because we could be at the end of Wano Act 2 in the next chapter, and Oda could be making this thing like, oh, there's more left in Wano Act 2 than we previously thought. Because another thing that Oda mentioned was we would be going to the Reverie this year throughout some point. So in order for that to happen, Wano Act 2, which started at the beginning of the year, next event to the Reverie or the world building aspect to be brought to light. So we would assume that maybe it would be ending mid-year. So here we are in August and it hasn't ended yet. So we could get the ending of Wano Act 2 next week. We don't, in the next chapter, we don't know how many chapters are left in Wano Act 2. We have One Piece cover weekly Shonen Jump. We have other series like Black Clover, My Hero Academia, Promised Neverland, and obviously Dr. Stone. They're all wearing pirate hats to celebrate One Piece. I love the colour spread. Once again, Oda hit it out of the park. This time it's promoting One Piece Film Stampede, because a week from now, next Friday, I believe, in August 9th, One Piece Film Stampede does get released in theatres, so I can't wait for that. You got Rob Lucci, you got Buggy, and I love how Buggy and Luffy are just bickering with one another. You got Sabo chilling out eating noodles, and Boa Hancock, I guess it's because of the differences they had at the Marineford. Boa Hancock is like grabbing the face of Smoker, so that's kind of adorable. And you got Law who's just like grossed out by all of this. By the way, Buggy just done. I love how Buggy just dumps a hamburger on Law's head, and he's just like casually chilling. So that's funny as hell. So we're back at the file capital at the beginning of this chapter. Orochi's pissed because obviously the Strats escaped and he wants them found. But then the leader, Aniwaban, pretty much Fuku Rajagu, pretty much mentions, oh, we got Law detained, and that's just as good as getting the Straw Hats, because Law isn't going to cough that information up. And so we got the Aniwaban, or at least in this case, we got the Mimiwari Gummy, My Ninja Station. So they're looking for the Straw Hats, and as this is going on, you got wanted posters, sketches. It's kind of like a reference to Carrot and her pictures back in Hokkien, where they look nothing alike the cow parts, but it's funny as hell. There we see Shinobu and Sanji chilling out, looking at what's going on here, because they realize they got nowhere. They can't mingle in with the West Samurai of Wano now, because they're the criminal most wanted, much like Zoro was when we first got to Wano. And then Sanji notices what are they doing over there, like preparing fireworks for the Fire Festival in Onigashima. They're making skyboats. It's for the Fire Festival. First the fire for a ceremony for the festival to mourn the dead. The grander the fireworks, the more pleasant it is for the people that have passed away. So over to northern Ebisu town, which I'm pretty sure is the town that Yasui came from, so that makes sense. Army talking with Law's crew, Beppo, Sachi, and Penguin. So that was pretty cool. And I don't think she realized how we managed to escape. The picture puzzle of the Kozuki clan crescent, and Nami notices this, and then Nami deduces this is a code of some sort. It's Lord Jesui's message, so they need to decipher this and figure out what it means. So Nami, looking like she's meeting with Kinemon to decipher what this means. So that's kind of cool. It kind of gives me vibes to what happened with Jiraiya before he got killed by Pain. Like he imprinted the message so he can get it to Konoha. So it's kind of like the same thing here, only in a big part. So I'm wondering what Beppo and the rest of the crew, they may try to get Law out of prison, but then we get a flashback to Hawkins setting them free. So it's like they've got longer need Law's crew. So Hawkins is like, I've given you lives back. You're completely free. Satisfied Trafalgar. So obviously that was Law's demand. Law says doesn't really surprise me all that much, except what does this mean for the plot? So look here, man, and do not under circumstance do not tell Straw Hat I have been captured. So Law doesn't want that out. And I don't think Nami's aware, because if she knew, she would tell the rest of the crew. But so I'm wondering why nobody's questioning this, by the way, because Sanji did bring up, oh, Trafalgar Law's men are also detained as well, so nobody brought that up. So it says, unfortunately, the life of our captain comes before the plan. So get the rest of the Law's crew. So that's in present time. So I mean, it's going out the window because, like I said, I'm pretty sure Beppo and the rest are trying to get Law out of there. To obviously tell, we see Kanjuro, and it looks like he's carrying the remains of Yasui. So he says, I'm going to see that Yasui's remains are properly interred. So smiling in Ebisu Tower, but at the same time, they're all tearing up. So Kanjuro draws up a tiger, but Frankie and Nami, looks like they're going to the Braided Village, according to Nami. So that could be Amigasa Village. So, and also, it makes sense why they would go as well, because they may also be going to the place where Kinemon and Darashi and Ashura Doji are at. But then we go over to where Robin and company are. And it's really cool. Like I said, you got pictures, you got white posters of each of the Straw Hats, nothing like the counterparts. Find the Straw Hats. You got Brock who's pulling face like they had back in chapter 926, which is still scarring for Robin fans. So a little panel of Brooke interacting with Robin. It's like, Mokichi, where is Toko? She tired herself out crying asleep. So you got an adorable panel with Robin cradling Toko, and it looks like she's asleep, but you can see her smiling. So she stopped crying. So that's good. The south and western port of Kuri, where they're making a ship. So they go to make the trip to Onigashima, and it said apparently it can take as many as 1,000 soldiers to Wano. So that's the Straw Hats' way of getting to Onigashima. I'm pretty sure, as well as the rest of the Nared Chiefs. Well, we can get Frankie to do the finishing touches on this, so that's kind of cool. Makes sense of why Frankie's with Nami right now, because Nami needs to find Kinemon so they can decipher that code, and Frankie could obviously put the finishing touches. So that would lead out to the rest of the Wano Act 2 into Wano Act 3, with the ship being prepared for Onigashima. So now there's time, and there's also time for training, as well as Zoro getting his Shisui back. Then we cut to Onigashima, and obviously one of the most epic, if not the most epic moment of Wano Act 2. I mean, it's debatable because obviously Luffy's moment was pretty epic. So the Beast Pirate's preparing meals for Big Mom because she's been detained, and you got the 3 calamities, Jack, Queen, and King, staring down Big Mom while she's eating her ship off the waterfall. And if there's anything else with reinforces, we're going to see Big Mom's crew pretty soon, because there's no way she's going solo, and there's no way she's being killed off. So not off screen, and not just yet. So what surprised, this hypes up King even further, because I'll forgive what happened yesterday. Join us some mama. So and then he says there are 3 races my country lacks. Obviously one of them is obviously from Elbaf. Races King from. So that number one, that hypes him up. The fact that Big Mom wants him to join, and the fact they call him son. Did Kaido and Big Mom conceive King? And that's a different race altogether, but I don't know. It just raises a lot of questions, and what it does is hype up the fight between King and Zoro that much more. Big Mom just like casually tells Queen, get these cuffs off me already. Finally we get Kaido stepping up with a growl on his face. Big Mom's like, Kaido, Lin, you finally showed up. So, like she promised she would take these off, and then Kaido just casually says, take those shackles off. And Big Mom's like, how many decades has it been? Well, Kaido. And Kaido's like, got his mace up, and he's like, I told you if you came here, I'll kill you. And Big Mom is like, she got Napoleon. She's ready to go. And you think I'll let you? And they clash, and it's the same. They have a Shanks and Whitebeard clash, where you can see sparks of hockey, and then causing storms, they causing tsunamis, causing the clouds, the heavens to shake, kind of like Shanks and Whitebeard did. Are clashing, and I didn't think that was going to happen yet. So, unpredictability factor. This was a great chapter. I did not see this coming. I don't think anybody else saw it coming just this soon. But kind of makes you wonder where the Big Mom Pirates, the rest of the Big Mom Pirates are going to be. And boy, they could sure use Katakuri right about now. So I wonder how this is going to give us a prime example of how Big Mom stacks up against Kaido. Find out pretty soon. But that's how the chapter ends, and like I said, the predictability factor goes out the window because before we could assume Wano Act 2 is ending, which it might, but Oda's giving us that impression that there's more to Wano Act 2 than we previously thought. So I just got that feeling, and it's a great chapter. We still got some things to tie up, whether it happens in Wano Act 2 or Act 3, doesn't really matter anymore. Back between Big Mom and Kaido's connection, it says how decades has it been, implying it's been more than one decade, so since they last met, or since they last clashed. We know they're part of the Rocks Pirates. We still need a backstory to that. Zoro is going to go to Ringo to like get back Shisui. I think that has to happen before the end of Wano Act 2 as well, just because it sets up some things. But then again, with the time being produced for Frankie to build that ship that Asho Doshi's been working on, it does give a lot bit of time left, and we could have a time skip involved once again. But I knew we had to get to the rest of the show, and we did find out what they were doing. We still, I guess they did find the rendezvous point. So I'm surprised Hawkins let Lord's crew go casually, and Lord thinks this is part of the fact that Beppo and the rest of the crew said the captain comes before the plan. But Lord does have a plan, and we knew this going in. But now it's like, okay, he's shackled, so he can't use his devil fruit. He can't use Shamble, so it's gonna have to rely on Hawkins, which I think he's not really invested in being on an underling of Kaido, or it has to be Onigashima. Well, obviously he's been punished. We saw that in the previous chapter. So, and the fact that the rest of the Stratas didn't question that, I find that very interesting. So it's great to see the rest of the Stratas again, as well as Big Mom and Kaido clashing. So that was an epic moment. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like this review if you did. Subscribe to for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.